Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. And what we're going to make tonight is, well, a pumpkin pound cake. It is actually a very, very close replica of the very famous coffee shop pumpkin pound cake, that if you've tried it and had one of their cup of coffee, it's fabulous. And I really found this pumpkin pound cake, I feel, almost identical to that famous coffee shop pound cake. So let's get started. First off, let's start with, of course, the pumpkin puree, okay? And what I've done is I needed 1 cup of that. So if you buy the canned pumpkin, you're not going to use all of the can because you just need a little bit less than a cup. So, but I usually use a full cup. The next thing that you're going to put in is 2/3 cups of granulated sugar. You're also going to be putting in 2/3 cups of brown sugar. Now you can use your hand mixer if you want, or you can do it by hand with a whisk or a spatula, as I'm doing, and just combine that together. You're also going to be putting in 3 egg whites that have been at room temperature, and I'm just going to whisk that in. And I'm just going to set that aside for a moment and combine the dry. So you're going to need 1.5 cups of flour. Now if you want to use gluten-free flour, feel free to go ahead. The recipe comes out good with that. But I have 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm putting in 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. I'm going to be putting in 1/4 teaspoon of cloves. Now if you don't like cloves, you can leave it out. But I would replace it with cinnamon. But I think you'll really enjoy the cloves once you taste it if you bake it with the cloves. And 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. And I'm just going to give that a little bit of a stir here with my spoon. And then you're going to need 1/4 cup of milk, and use whatever type. If you want to use whole milk, you can use skim milk. It's really whatever that you have and that what you want to use, okay? So I'm just going to start putting some of the dry in. And again, just whisk it in or stir it in. And then I'm going to just add a little bit of the milk. What's really nice about this pound cake is when you bake it, your whole kitchen will smell so good because of, you know, all the spices that you put in it. It's a very moist, light pound cake. A lot of times we tend to think pound cake is really super dense and really heavy, and we don't like it. Here's the rest of the dry and the rest of the milk. Now you'll need a 9x5 loaf pan, and I just went ahead, I'm going to use the stoneware one that I like to use, and just go ahead and spray it with an oil spray. And I'm just bringing this together. I hope that you can see the batter. It's nice and smooth. There's no lumps or bumps in it. I'm going to take this off my whisk And then just use a spatula to make sure that I've gotten to the bottom and I've cleaned the sides of my bowl. And there you can see it. Oh, this smells so good, and it's not even baked yet. And then, of course, we're just gonna put that into our 9x5 that's been sprayed. And even it out as best you can. I want to get it all out of there. Okay, get the rest of it. Now, you're going to bake this at 350 degrees, and it could take you anywhere from 55 to 60 minutes. Now, depending on your oven, because you know all our ovens set up so differently. So, you know, I do like to start checking mine, at about 45 minutes or so, that kind of thing, just to play it safe. When it comes out of the oven, put it on a cooling rack, and then, you know, you can serve it with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or whatever that you want to have it with. And do test it, of course, with your cake tester or your toothpick to see that it's thoroughly baked too. Okay, so let me rinse my hands very quickly, being I'm working with raw egg white there. Okay, and I want to show you what it looks like once it's baked up, and this is how it will look. It really bakes up just beautifully. You'll have a nice glistening top to it. I hope that you can see that. You will have a crack down the center, but that's not going to affect the taste. A nice golden brown on the bottom. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut into it so that you'll be able to see it. We'll put that one aside. Okay. It is an extremely it's not, as I said, it is a pound cake, yes, but it's not really, you know, heavy and dense, super dense. I think you're going to really like it. And oh, with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, as I mentioned earlier, it's just fantastic. It's a very easy recipe to make. And I hope you try it. If you do try it, well, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. I'm sorry, but the recipe will not be below the video. I no longer do that due to people taking my work to other sites and claiming them theirs, and well, why go into it? But it's just not worth the time anymore for me. So I hope that I explained it well enough for you to get it. The recipe down. If you like this video, well, please give me a like, or you want to ring the bell, or even better, if you want to subscribe. I really appreciate you taking the time. So I want to thank you for watching Diane Lovetobake. That's only solely where my videos are. Appreciate your time very much for watching my video. So we have the famous coffee shop pumpkin pound cake. Give this recipe a try, and as I mentioned, if you tried it, you like it, leave a comment. I will answer you in a timely fashion, okay? Thanks again for watching Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. See you soon.